Hi, I'm at the home of JL Audio, which is in Miramar, Florida. JL Audio is now owned by Garmin, but the speakers we're about to see are JL Audio branded products. The first home speakers from JL Audio, they're coming under the Primacy series banner, the floor-standing T6, the stand-mounted S3, and they're remarkable. You're going to want to know everything about them, and we have those details.
So the sound rooms 1, 2, and 3, or in this room.
There's probably some Garmin products that you know about, that you've used before. Most people know about Garmin in a few areas, but really don't know the full breadth of what we do.
Garmin's enthusiasm and vast technical resources were instrumental in bringing this project to completion.
The Primacy project started several years ago with an ambition to essentially modernize high-performance audio. So by that I mean we wanted an accessible system that takes advantage of streaming at the highest fidelity possible, but we also wanted a speaker that would comfortably fit into a luxury home in terms of the aesthetics. So rather than making it flamboyant, we made it very restrained in its appearance. We're not wearing our technology on our sleeve.
So Primacy consists of 2 loudspeaker models. We have a 2-way S3 and a 3-way T6. The 2-way S3 is a small ported enclosure with a 5.5-inch mid-range woofer with exceptional low-end extension, fantastic upper range response, paired with a 26mm tweeter. That makes a compact 2-way ported system that sounds fantastic. T6 is much larger, consists of 4 5.5-inch dedicated woofers, a 5.5-inch mid-range driver, and the same 26mm tweeter. It's an exceptional system, doesn't require any subwoofer augmentation, and can play full range down to the lowest frequencies you can imagine. Very dynamic, very impressive. So the construction method on both speaker models is similar. They both start out with a sand-cast aluminum enclosure, which we machine in our own machine shop to very precise tolerances. And then we pair together with that enclosure a front baffle, which is extruded aluminum, also machined to very precise tolerances. Everything fits together like a glove. There are no resonances in the system whatsoever. When the system is put together, it is incredibly inert. There are no vibrations, there are no rattling noises, no matter what level you play at. That was paramount to how we designed Primacy speakers.
The Primacy S3 and the Primacy T6 are both fully active loudspeakers, meaning there's a dedicated amplifier in each driver section. The crossover in the Primacy is handled completely by our DSP system, as well as the timing between each driver section and any level differences or slight EQ differences that may be present.
When you initially set up and configure a Primacy system, all of the controls on the back of the panel are functioning and the speaker can work right out of the box. However, when you add the centerpiece stereo, the intent is to run Parro. Parro is a highly sophisticated measurement system and room optimization processor that will measure down to an inter-channel level, and it will optimize the relationship and behavior or performance of each channel with each other. An entire Parro process takes between about 10 to 15 minutes, especially if you have a subwoofer or 2 in the system. Throughout this process, it's going to optimize several things, such as the actual crossover behavior of each driver section. It's also going to optimize the relationship of the tower to tower, as well as towers to subwoofers to make sure they're ideal for your setup. Throughout this process, it will analyze things in both the frequency and time domain to make sure that the speakers are working together optimally. At the end of the process, the speakers disappear and all you hear is the music. The preset switching, where you can go from before Parro to after Parro, makes it extremely easy to hear the differences in sonic performance that proper room optimization makes.
Okay, so Todd, it's got a special phono stage in this. This is what I hear from the presentation. The inputs are right there, the ground is right there. What makes this phono stage special?
So the phono stage is 100% discrete. It is balanced input to output. We use a passive RIAA equalization with very tight tolerance parts. That allows us to get accurate EQ. We're not throwing away any bits.
Right, all in the analog domain.
All in the analog domain.
For each system, you have a regulated power supply to provide very stiff voltage rails so that you don't have a fluctuation of power during playback. The T6 takes that to another level. You have power factor correction, so it will take anything from 105 volts all the way to 240 volts as an input, and that helps to tailor the power drawn from the wall so that it's more linear. We wanted ample power for each active channel. So you have 200 watts to the tweeter, you have 200 watts to the mid-range, or the woofer in the case of the S3, and then 600 watts to the bass section in the T6. So overall you have 400 watts in the S3 total, and then you have 1,000 watts in each T6 tower. The DSP package is identical for both the S3 and the T6. 3 DSP cores running together in parallel. The centerpiece, as well as the internal DSP and the speaker, run at 32-bit, 192 kilohertz.
We see Primacy as the start of an ecosystem, which will eventually include other solutions, including architectural speakers, landscape systems, distributed audio systems. So the front end, which contains the streaming technology, the room correction technology, that can be applied to different speaker applications.
So I got 6 takeaways on the new Primacy speakers. And the first one, I don't think anybody's gonna say, but when they unveiled them, they didn't look like much. And by that, I mean much different than a traditional set of speakers in a series. But once you dig in, there's much more. Now, the other takeaway is the control center. I've been saying for over a year, nobody said to manufacturers, please take away the volume control. This thing gives the volume control and a centerpiece back to the hi-fi system. I think it's brilliant. Plus, you're putting the technically obsolete potential parts into a control center that can be upgraded or changed. Now, remarkable is the Parro room optimization system. That's part of the Parro name. But what they're doing is unique in that they're not just room optimizing to a target curve, but also individually driver optimizing. They're not doing filter on top of filter. They're affecting the stock filters. I think that's great from a technical advantage. The manufacturing capabilities, I'm really sad that we can't show you because of privacy and security and all that at the company, but what they're doing is truly state-of-the-art in terms of the loudspeaker manufacturer, the way it's designed, the serviceability in the future. It's top-notch, and although the speakers aren't cheap, they're not overpriced if you see the investment JL has put into them. The way they are built, when you see how they're constructed from the inside to the outside, I've never seen speakers made like this. It goes to the serviceability, it goes to the repeatability in manufacture, it goes to the overall quality. The final takeaway is sound quality. Now, Roger Cano, one of our reviewers, absolutely loved the S3, and I love the S3 too. Small, it puts out big sound. But the T6 to me was truly mind-blowing with or particularly without subwoofers. Like I said, these aren't cheap speakers, but they're not overpriced. They deliver.